Well, we've been talking about the whole idea of loving and respecting each other, and it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to find people who model it well. So my whole life, I've gotten to kind of grow up watching my parents, and they may have not had the perfect marriage or relationship, but as a kid, I remember looking up to them because I could tell how much they loved each other, they cared for each other. And it's that example and that model that I got to see growing up that helped me kind of create a basis for my marriage now with my wife. And so I wanted you all to get a chance to get to know them and for them to kind of share some things that they've put into practice in their marriage that has helped them for the long haul and has helped them create and cultivate the marriage that they have today. So this is my parents. Hey guys.
Hey.
Go ahead, introduce yourselves, tell people who you are, how long you've been married, how you put up with each other, anything like that you kind of get to know you guys a little bit.
All right, I'm Angie.
And I'm Travis. I'm here because they paid me. I don't know what this is all about. We've been married 34 years this year. 34 happy, wonderful years, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we were high school sweethearts at 19. We started dating, well, actually probably 15. Got married at 19, by 19. So probably in our 20s, we had you and Josh. And so that was kind of interesting and challenging kind of growing up. But we both come from dysfunctional families and divorce. And we found that, you know, we wanted to raise you guys in a home that was different and to be different than what our past families and our lifestyles were.
We went into this with the idea that we were going to make it no matter what happened. And we've had some mountaintop experiences, but by golly, we've been through some pretty deep valleys in these 34 years together. About year 6.5 or 7 in our marriage, you know, we got married and we took off. We were all in love and all excited and everything was going really well. And then after a little while, some of that first jitters, the newness wears off. And then all of that stuff that you've had bottled up and kept down begins to come out. And that person you married then begins to see the real person that you are. And that's where we really hit a bump in the road because of some of the stuff I had been through, some of the stuff she had been through began to come out, and we didn't really love or respect each other at all. So I was struggling to make her respect me, and she was struggling to gain my love from her. And the more we were pushing to make it happen, the less it was happening because we didn't communicate, we didn't listen. And we brought in so much baggage from the past that was beginning to come out, and we weren't communicating well at all. We hit that season in the midst of that, and we were like, we struggled. We had to get counseling. We had to get help. And we were at a point we looked at each other and said, you know, we said we would never give up on this, but really, is there anything left to fight for? And that was a hard day. Didn't know this was going to happen. Yeah, that was a tough day to realize that maybe we just said maybe it isn't going to work. It ain't going to work, and we just said, you know what? That next day, we both went and sought out the Lord. She ended up at one place, I ended up at another, and we didn't know. And I was just praying. I was like, God, I know you didn't intend me to do this, and I don't know what's going on here, what's got in the midst of our marriage, but we're not loving. And we're not respecting, and we're fighting back and forth. And I can remember saying, God, if this is something you want me to just walk away from, then it's okay. But if not, then you got to give me a sign. I need something because I don't know what to do. And at the same time.
Yeah, I was praying, and I'm like, Lord, you know, we promised each other, and we promised to the Lord, you know, we were going to make this through sickness and in health and the ups and downs in life. And so we just kind of hit rock bottom, but we were like, you know, we got to come together. We're raising 2 kids. You know, we know what, you know, separation and, you know, family breakups, how it affects. And we're like, no, we've got to fight for this. So I remember us coming back together and saying, we're going to make this, but we have to have God to be the center. We can't do this individually on our own. We've got to pray together. We've got to, have Him to be the center, Him to guide us. And that was the breaking point. That was the beginning of Him mending us back together to make this the best thing ever.
That day we began to seek the Lord, not I seek and she seek, but we seek. And when we begin to seek the Lord and we begin to put the Lord in the middle of our marriage, everything began to change. The love and respect thing then started to become more natural and easy. Then it was something I was fighting for. It was something I wanted to give her. And I noticed the more that I would give in and love on her, the more that she would turn around and respect me back. That was the beginning of something we started then, and we've continued to do every day, is we pray together. Every morning before we get out of bed, when we wake up, we stop and pray to the Lord to lead and guide us in each and every step we make throughout the day and be the center of our marriage. We've been doing that now for, almost, we've been married 34 years, so take 6 off of that, 7 off of that. So we've been doing that a long time. And that was the beginning of the whole turn of our marriage, was allowing God to be in the center of it.
So going off of the love and respect thing, that's what we've been talking about over the last 2 weeks. The idea that, men and women need 2 different things in order to function better in a marriage. So how have you all done that in your marriage? What are some things that make you feel loved that he does? And what are some things that make you feel respected that she does?
I just think he listens to me now, because sometimes in the past, I didn't let him know what I was really feeling and getting my feelings out. But now you really truly listen and just have that quality time. And not that you put me first, you put the Lord, but you're just with me and you want to do fun things together. And that's what's really cool. But listening.
I think that for me, one of the things that meant the most, that it made me feel more respected, was she would begin to do little things for me that she wouldn't do. Example, this week I was in my office working. I'd been in there all day. She knew I was overwhelmed, hadn't had time to eat. And she walks in out of nowhere and sets a cup of coffee and a bagel and cream cheese on my desk. And that seems like a small thing to do, but that to me was her saying, I love you, I respect you, and I'm caring about you. Hope you're doing okay today. So that meant a lot to me. And the little things like that always meant a lot. And even more now, she pays more attention to the details than me in my life. And we share more things together than we used to. So.
And I guess too, I noticed that I was too busy or worrying about this, that, or the other, that I didn't stop to really say, what is your needs? What is it? How can I serve you?
I think one of the things that we've learned over the years that's really helped us more than anything has been communication. Just to sit down and talk about the things that we're feeling, whether we're very excited and happy or whether one of us has done something to upset the other one. We just try to sit down anymore, and I like to say, hey, when you did this, it made me feel this way, and I like to talk about it for a minute. So I've learned not to flee and have to go sit and process for 2 days. And we seem to sit now and have those maybe sometimes harder conversations, it seems, in the moment, but that way we can stop anything from growing into something that it shouldn't be.
Communication, yes, is the biggest thing.
So there's other couples out in our audience today who maybe they came to church today and they're on their last leg of their marriage. They don't know how they're going to make it. Or there's other couples that have been married for 30 some years and things are going well. How would you encourage couples today? If you could give them one piece of encouragement, what would you tell them to continue to love and respect each other in their marriages?
Run! No, just kidding. Don't run. I think the biggest thing that I would have to say is don't give up. Don't quit. Don't surrender, because we almost did. We were like within days of giving up on the best thing God had ever given us. So I would say, don't give up. And really, more than anything, seek God. Put God in the center of everything in your marriage.
And raising your kids.
Yes. Pray together. Find you a church that you're already at, but dig in. Dig in as a family and get the healing that you need. One of the things that we didn't do, we brought all of our baggage into our marriage. So I really encourage talking with each other, talking with someone, and going through your past and cleaning out all of those closets that you have inside of you with all that deep, dark stuff, and get that stuff out and put the Lord in it. And that seemed to be what bonded us back together. And
I think too, just communication, and even as a family, because that's a lot of things no one's talking or communicating anymore. The families need to get together and say, what's your struggles? How can we help you? Marriages and as family dynamics as well. And then also have date nights. And then, you're raising kids and life gets busy. But, before you had kids and things, you were a couple, so marriage comes, God first, but then your marriage, and then have those date nights and nurture it. But if you focus so much on just, raising the kids and being so busy, then you lose touch of each other. And it's a sad thing when we see couples now that have lost that love. When they finally get time to enjoy each other, it's usually ended. So
we picked up where we left off from when you all were born, it's a great thing. We enjoyed the season of raising you all, but now we get the season of being husband and wife again. And honestly, we're having a blast. I mean, we are. We do date nights every week. We have meals out. We cook together. We take little trips together. We have balcony moments together. And so it was worth every bit of the fight and everything to make it through to get to this season. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you guys for being willing to, one, do this, but also for me, the example that you guys have set for me, you all fighting for your marriage, not giving up when it got hard, not quitting like I saw a lot of other families do, and you guys continue to run the course and continue to love each other, respect each other, just did so much for me and my family now that you guys probably will never even know. For me, I get to love my wife and treat her the way I do because of the example I saw you, Dad, treat Mom with. And Mom, the love that you gave me as I get to love my wife with and understand what she needs. And with us raising a family now, it is difficult. It does get hard to find those times for one another. But I thank you guys for the example you've given me and got to share with everybody today, because I know it helped me in my life, and hopefully today it'll help somebody else as well. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for letting us share.
Yeah.